All right. Here is the bottom half of our top 10 list. Right at the top, there is Nick. Yep.
Still here.
All right.
Nice.
We've only got one. We've got one new name on the list today. John G down there in 9th place. John is trading in 2 XFAs and a live funded account. He's been bouncing around the top 50 for a couple weeks now. He picked up about $3,000 across all 3 accounts on Friday, landed himself in the top 10. Philip, Isaac, Salmon, and Nick Foratick all took home some tidy profits on Friday as well. John, Isaac, Salmon, and Nick are all trading in live funded accounts also. Just wanted to make note of that. All right.
Boom.
Oh, we got a drum roll. There is the top of the leaderboard. The names in the top 5 are all the same as Friday. They just shifted around a little bit. Raphael and Wei swap positions. Raphael dropped a spot. Wei moved up a spot. Drew and Ming also swap positions. They both suffered some fairly significant drawdowns on Friday, but Ming was still able to overtake Drew by about $200 to move into second place. And our leader, Dakota, he's now close to $100,000 up on the next closest contender.
Wow.
If you want to take Dakota out of the top spot, you've definitely got
Killing it.
a lot of wood to chop. Yeah.
You certainly do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's
Yep.
doing very well.
Yep.
All right. There's our leaderboard.
That's what we should have confetti for. Market all-time highs. Yeah.
Actually, you might have some
Leaderboard.
leftover confetti. The Federal Reserve Bank of
Yep.
Chicago is right across the street from our office, and they give away free bags of shredded bills. Mick is sitting right behind me. Actually, on New Year's, we went and picked up a couple bags. And
Oh, that's
threw 'em up
right.
in the air.
You said you felt bad for the cleaner.
Yeah, we left a tip for the cleaning crew.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
They're probably like, wow, these guys are shredding $100 bills. What is wrong with them? How rich are these guys?
Well, if they've been cleaning in the Board of Trade building for a while, they've probably actually seen shredded $100 bills.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So ES is taking out the XSC single prints.
Yep.
So I'm glad we didn't take the short.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we're up to 11,400 in Delta right now.
Anyone in the chat, have you had a successful trade today? And if you have, I'm assuming it was long somewhere off that initial 5-minute opening range, let's call it, where you went long with it, and hopefully you're still sitting in it. Otherwise, I haven't really seen much of a safe entry. Gosh.
Yeah, it would have been a point to click and pray.
And we see Delta still increasing. Is that what you just said, Hogue?
Yes, sir.
Delta's ticking up.
11,000 S&P.
ES is tapping on the ceiling.
8,200 in the Nasdaq.
Yep. Nasdaq still looks pretty flat.
All right, here's the 10:30 Euro close. We'll see what happens here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boy, they probably probably trapped a few shorts in these 5-minute bars down here. A lot of folks probably
order filled.
We broke structure.
Order canceled. Order canceled.
Coach Jay in the chat. He answered your question, Nick. Only took one trade, short natural gas. Market I haven't looked at it all today.
It's been on an absolute tear since
Yep.
February.
The Widowmaker.
Order canceled.
Just getting to the IB
Order
high on the
placed.
Nasdaq here, D.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hoop wants to know if we're expecting a short squeeze today. I think we would only be expecting that if we saw negative delta.
Order
Is that
placed.
correct, Hogue? Keep creeping
Yes.
higher, and delta keeps
Yes.
moving negative.
Typically, that would be true.
Then you would anticipate the short squeeze. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very hard to go short.
It's hard to do
Just
anything
doesn't
when it's
look
this quiet.
clean. Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
definitely a P-shaped day now, like I said, because now we've built some more structure. Nasdaq definitely looks like a P-shaped day. ES, well, I mean,
P-shaped.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're 4 across at the high there. TPOs still.
Yeah, P-shaped days are very hard to trade because they can sometimes look like they're continuing, but then they come back into the belly, the distribution curve. So typically, if you've missed that first run up, all that's left is just like little scalps, but only if you have a good enough range. And unfortunately, we only have like barely 7 ticks, 7 handles range in ES. That's not
Inside the
quite
P,
enough.
right? Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you would have to nitpick on entries, and that's very difficult
Order
to do.
canceled.
So it's not the highest probability setup at all in any shape or form.
We're going to put in a new high in the S&P. Still working
New
on getting
all-time
into
high
those
of a new all-time
TPOs.
high. Let's go.
Yeah. Get the shredded money ready.
Yeah, really
Do we
should
have
have been
any more of
trading
that shredded money?
CL this morning or something.
Yeah.
But it's across the street, like you said. I've spent it all.
We can hear me.
Oh yeah, I just asked him a question. We got a full house in the office today. James and
Right.
Gabe are both here doing some production training, and then Mick and myself. It's not a very big office. It gets tight in here pretty fast. But yeah, I just did ask Mick to get the confetti ready or the shredded money, but we are all out. We spent it all.
Double top in the S&Ps now.
Yeah, I see it.
Order
Got a
filled.
weak high or a double top?
Yeah, I mean both, isn't it? Yeah.
Order
Right.
canceled.
And that implies that we are going to have a pop upside.
There it goes.
There we go. Yeah.
Get the confetti.
Yep. Get the champagne ready.
The market's doing this without Nvidia, who's still stuck below right around 945. So hasn't been able to get over that 950 strike so far. I'm assuming breadth has
2.2%.
improved since then.
I mean, what's going on with Mondays that they're just not great in
There's no
equities
action.
recently?
Last
Yeah,
Monday, I
right
think we
behind
had
it.
2 rotations in the first, initial bounce period. And today we got basically just one move. And if you caught it, great.
Nothing. Yeah,
Mondays
it's a
have
shame. I was really hoping we were going to find a house account trade, but yeah.
Mondays have historically been my worst trading days.
Hmm.
How long have you
So
been
we're
tracking
I
going
that?
mean,
slow.
Mondays across a wide range of products can be quieter in general, but not quite this quiet. So maybe, like Nick said, this is maybe the summertime starting slowly. Some people are away from the desks, they're traveling, kids are coming out of school and all that.
And Dolby's Goldman interns will be running the asylum here shortly.
Robert M in the chat says the markets have a case of the Mondays. I'm just going to go ahead and block you, Robert, for saying that.
I mean, that could be something too, because sometimes you have these hangover Mondays where people kind of come in and they don't really want to do anything, so they're just going to do one trade and they're like, I'm done.
I think you just put the finger right on my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Weekend benders, eh?
Well, what are the weekends for?
JD, did you stay for the whole game last night?
We did. Gabe's a huge Timberwolves fan, and the game was really tight, so we stayed out until the end. Gabe's on our production team now. He flew in from Minneapolis yesterday to do some production training. He's in the office right now, but we went out last night and got a burger and watched the Timberwolves Game 7. Great game. Had a good time. And yes, we did stay for the whole game.
Nice.
I was still in bed by 10 o'clock, though.
Dallas is going to have two sport teams in the Western Conference Finals. You got the Stars and the Mavs. So it'll be fun in this city for the next 2 weeks.
Must be nice.
I'm not a fan of either, excuse me,
Okay.
in terms of, true sports fans for Dallas. I just didn't grow up here. So for me, I don't have any good allegiance to the Mavericks or the Stars, and absolutely not for the Cowboys. So actually, it's more fun to live in Dallas and actually hate on the Cowboys and the fan base than it is to be a Cowboys fan in Dallas.
Did you grow up in Dallas, Nick, or you just moved there after
No,
school?
I grew up in Southern California. So I really only have one sports team that I care about, and it is the current perennial loser, the whatever you would like to call them these days. It's a sign of the poor ownership that we have. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Anaheim Angels, whatever you want to call them. The owner actually is a University of Arizona alum, and I have not been a fan of the directions of that franchise since we have been wasting the career of Mac Trout. So that is the only sports team that I lose sleep over. But other than that, I have no allegiance to any professional sports team.
Well, can't be any worse than being a White Sox fan right now.
That's probably fair.
Oh my goodness.
Brutal.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
a tough
brutal.
Right. So one dodgy trading idea. So euro close sometimes causes this price action behavior where even on a quiet day, they like to smash through the previous session high and then they reverse. So that could be happening here. So if we assume that we're just going to stay in this belly shape, in the P shape area, that could be one trade idea. But again, I wouldn't call it high probability. I would like to see more movement on the day.
Right.
But that's the only thing that I can see here, because we just pushed ever so slightly higher and we're still in that all-time supply. And they're having trouble breaking through it. And now we have a little bit of space until that unclean arrival. Again, not much. There's only like 2-3 handles before we hit that. Maybe 4 if I extend that to the originating demand on a 5-minute chart. It's very cheap.
Very cheap.
Yeah, that's the only thing going for it here. So if we want to do something, that would be a little scalp that I can see, but nothing else. Thoughts?
We're still seeing some pretty good liquidity above in the S&Ps. 53.49 quarter, 400 on the offer, 350. There's 400 on the offer.
But that's above the all-time high, so we would need somebody to push that. Yeah. Do we think that can happen today? In the next half an hour?
I don't know. Anything can.
Soon.
ACH.
ACH, yeah.
It's just liquidity, and the market has a tendency to try and take that out.
Magnet.
So, let's see.
Hunter Lot just traded out in the NQ at 60 quarter.
Let's see what's
it's the only real liquidity I'm seeing there.
I don't like NQ price action. If you look at it on a 15-minute chart,
Order
it's
filled.
kind of pushing into its own excess, which is something that's already
Order
happened
canceled.
in ES. Oh man, what a tricky day.
And we didn't even get to VWAP to even take a long and join back in with the fun here. Like we just reversed off a random
Order
little
canceled.
absorption in the Nasdaq. Crazy.
I took the
Order
short.
placed.
It's cheap.
Dirty demand. You took a short. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at
It is cheap.
760. I saw that same 100 lot come in and I was debating, but I just feel like when you're searching for a short, you're going to find it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is
Yeah,
not a
pretty
good
much.
reason to take one just because I saw a big level and I'm itching to take a trade. So not a great reason to short in my opinion, but it's a good spot.
Order
Still low
filled.
risk because you can
I
set your
keep hearing
stop at
myself
Order
say,
canceled.
the high.
saying a lot of my best trades have been taken only because they were cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with the short here is what I'm saying. I guess for
No.
everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
It's the same thesis
the
I
one
had
short
earlier.
today.
And in fact, you have a more defined stop on this one than I did
Yep.
on my entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have more data at this point.
Yep.
That's the only difference.
Short the S&P 53, 45, 75.
Okay, nice.
And Hope may be right. I am seeing sellers come in on the Nasdaq too.
It happens a lot with Euro close. They like to take out the nearest session low or high, then they reverse it. And they spook a whole bunch of people because they're like, oh no, new high, new low. Nope, it's
Yep.
fake out. And then the volume drops off, and then they just reverse it.
Or it's like if you wanted to take that short earlier that we kind of missed, it's like, well, you got to rebid pretty much back to that same area in the 60s or 760s on the Nasdaq, almost like a rebid chance or reoffer chance that you could have short just like Hope did. So we'll see if it actually pays this time.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We got about, what,
Yeah.
20 minutes left here? We'll just let this play.
Yeah.
At least we got something to look at.
Yes.
Getting word here, but at the end of the day, anybody that was affected by any of the trades that we were having trouble with between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, any of the negative trades, we're gonna fix those for everybody as we always do. Those of you that have been with us for a while know that we always fix this stuff, and we are going to do that at the end of the day today. So
Yeah, we're gonna make
fear
everybody
not.
whole.
We'll make
If
everybody whole.
you've been around for a while, you know we never leave anybody hanging. So just sit tight. We'll get to you. Don't worry.
And here we sit. Rated entry.
Mm.
Mondays.
I did actually watch that movie again recently, Office Space.
Gordon?
If you're unfamiliar with the reference that was made earlier, it does still hold up very much, especially if you've come from a true corporate environment where the monotony of middle management does still exist. I can promise you it does still. Mike Judge, did it with Silicon Valley. He obviously did it with that movie, and he's very much, has a good pulse on what it's like to actually work in the big tech world that I came from, as well as any, middle management type corporate America, random type job. That movie really does still hold up. And we are selling off here now that I'm making a movie reference.
Yeah.
Of course, that's when it happens.
Yeah.
That's life, people, right there. You're not paying attention. There's 30 points.
That's the NASDAQ for you.
Post Euro close. That's what happens. Yeah. It's a high probability scalp. Higher probability. I shouldn't say high probability because it's not.
So you like this just for a scalp? I've got an exit down here at 340 quarter, which is
Okay.
down near low
Yeah,
of
yeah, I
value,
get that.
near the low of the bubble here.
I would not, it's funny in this market. We'll see if we can break through VWAP here, but if it unwound the entire move from this morning, it would not shock me in the slightest with us sitting at all-time highs as we went back towards that 5,300 strike.
Mhm.
Happened last week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you said 40 quarter for an exit, just above VWAP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just for a
Still pushing.
scalp.
trying.
Yeah. All roads. Rusty golfer.
Yep.
Our friend George told us.
I mean, it's back at the originating 5-minute demand now, the one that was unclean, dirty demand, dirty demand.
Ah,
So we'll see what happens here.
Sure, taking its time.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And like Nick said, this is what summer markets are going to be. So,
Yep. So
this is
that would be
really-
my piece of advice. If you are going to be trading,
Yeah.
June, July, and August, if you get your points in the 30-minute opening range trade or something like that,
Yeah.
get in, get out. Do not sit here and watch mind-numbing price action. That's probably going to be a liquid, low volume, stupid, grind up, slow paced. Get your points, get out, go do something better with your life would be my advice.
Yep.
There's no shame in, even if you were even a larger trader getting a few $100s here and there, there's no shame in, going for your $200 winning day target. And if you hit it, great, walk away. That'll build over the summer months and you'll get you a nice check eventually. But there's a great way to hit daily loss limits is to try to play rotational trades that do not exist during the summer months and then just, end up giving more fees to the broker than you are actually making in P&L.
Salute Your Short says that Unclean Demand sounds like a good band name. I do like that.
Yeah,
Order filled.
that's true.
Order canceled.
That can be the Top Step band's name.
Order
Yeah,
canceled.
unclean demand. Yeah.
Order placed. Order placed.
Tourist time, yes. Pulled pork it, yeah. Full port all summer long. Quadruple your size because the ATR is going to be lower. No, absolutely not.
And use the
Size
reverse
down, widen
button.
stops if anything.
Yeah, the
Definitely
reverse
use the
button.
reverse
That's
button
right.
with full port. Use the reverse button. You always have to be in a position.
Yep. That's why I'm waiting for the coders of Top Step X to build the full port button. Just immediately max position size.
Order
Max
filled.
Out, yeah.
Just a full Leroy Jenkins type entry. If you get that reference, I'll leave that for the chat.
Yeah. I used to have the Doomsday button. Had to hide it somewhere to make sure it wasn't. It would just launch all sorts of long short end futures contracts into the market. Hundreds of them.
You're
The chat
liking
likes
this,
that reference.
You're liking
It was a
this,
classic.
5-minute demand level down here.
The
aren't you?
Leroy Jenkins entry.
I challenged.
What is that?
I challenged the
That is-
production team to get the Leroy Jenkins video.
I was like, I can. If you've never seen it, it is,
great.
YouTube history, internet history at its finest level. Like pre-Google acquiring YouTube, like this is what it was. This is the type of stuff that was shared and went viral. So if you've been around, I guess it does age me in a way too. It's not that old, but if you don't know what that is, I highly recommend Googling that here shortly on YouTube and enjoying that. If you're a gamer, you should know what it is.
Did you guys know that was staged? The Leroy Jenkins
Was it
video
really? That's
wasn't actually
depressing.
real.
Was it really? Aw.
Yeah, they came
That
out
just-
years later and admitted that it was all fake.
It just ruined the whole thing for me.
Well, the guy doing
Um,
the calculation of the odds of success was still my favorite thing because he gives like the exact decimal point, repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course.
Precisely why we're meeting right now, because it's
So why don't I know Leroy Jenkins?
Were you late to embrace streaming services such as YouTube, Hogue?
Yes.
It was definitely in the early days of YouTube, but
Yep.
give it a look. It's pretty funny.
But there is nothing wrong with there was an old indicator that a service that I use had. They scrapped it in some aspect, but it was basically a breakout indicator that was called the Leroy, And basically that's what it was.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just you're basically kicking down the door with a breakout in either direction, long or short. And if it breaks through that level, that's the kind of move you're going to get. You're going to get a Leroy Jenkins type move where you are just, full-fledged, running full speed, guns blazing type of momentum play that exists. And it does still, there's logic to it behind the overnight inventory being long or short, and like the Asia session then going to the Euro session and the New York Open. So it's like if you see that kind of working in an upward trend or a downward trend, it would almost help you spit out a level where like this is where you would look for all of that inventory kind of working in tandem, protecting positions, and then continuing in a trend, long or short. So it would be called a Leroy entry.
Got it. Yeah, I'm pretty slow adopter when it comes to technology.
Order filled.
More of a laggard, if you will.
I have trading friends saying, holy crap, Nick's still on Top Step TV. And it's like, oh, that's why Vol is dead. I'm seeing the Discord chat in my side of my eyes.
Thanks,
So
guys.
that is why. You're welcome, guys.
Thanks,
if you're
guys.
watching, I'm sorry I turned this into, summer Vol.
Well, if that's the case, I'm getting out of this.
I killed it. It's
Well, it
dead.
is kind of
My fault.
reversing on the 2 minute. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
we're
in that
still at
demand zone.
level.
So
I kind of feel like that with everything that I've touched. Like we had some beautiful liquidity for 3 years, and then whenever I come to like trade something, it's just dead. And I was like, oh great, yeah, thanks. That crude oil was in crazy ranges, and then come February, it just dies to like 100 ticks
Order
a day.
filled.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's definitely some jinx going on there.
Order canceled.
Well, it was meant to be a scalp anyway, so
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
and
mean,
thank
this
you
is
to
the range that we're working
Right.
with. So until that
Order
goes,
canceled.
you can just gotta play that range and try to be
flop
safe.
around.
And just so rather than assuming that it's going to break through any significant levels, we just kind of use what's there and just go, okay, well, that's all I got. That's it. It's a basic,
Cheers.
isn't it?
This could be a
Yeah.
good Leroy Jenkins type short entry, because if we lose this 730 level, I would imagine it waterfalls back to 700 real quick here on NQ.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sit on my hands. But it's something here is screaming like we may just kind of waterfall if buyers don't step up like right now.
Yeah, I mean, we may
Yeah.
do that. It's just we have lunch in New York coming up in about 7 minutes. So volume is
And that
like,
is true. Volume is dead.
yeah.
Oh, and we do have VWAP to get through, I guess.
Mm.
You're still
Say
talking
profits,
NQ, right?
Hope?
Yeah, I was talking NQ. Still
Yeah.
have VWAP at around 725 ish.
Okay.
Well, that's session VWAP, right?
Yes.
Yep. Overnight VWAP is at 716.
711, 712.
Mhm.
That's weird. I usually have both on my chart. Only one is populating.
Yes.
Well, we've got Peter Tuckman coming up in a few minutes.
Ah, yeah.
Kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
curious to see if
We'll
he's going to
liven
have
things
his
up.
curious to see if he's wearing his Dow 40,000 hat. He showed it a couple times, but he said he wouldn't put it on until the Dow closed above 40,000, which it did on Friday.
Because he jinxed it before.
Well, now we need to
Axon.
get pre-orders for the Dow 50,000 hats.
Oh, it'll happen. 100,000.
Oh, I was just
Yeah,
corrected.
I-
Tuckman's coming on at 11:30 Central Time, not 11.
I made a joke that the only thing that'll get us like a good 10% pullback in this market is like me buying a Texas custom license plate that says like NQ 20K or something. Like that would guarantee an immediate like 10% pullback. So I might have to just do it. I'll take one for the team, guys. I promise. We'll get Vol back in for summer.
Let
by
us
me
know if
buying
you
that
do
license
it.
plate. And if someone steals it, I mean, and from the chat, I would laugh, but that was still available as of last week, but it's out there in the universe now, so someone's probably going to steal it.
Nick, so the market loves to make a liar out of us, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's usually the the moments to sell. When you're driving and you see someone, throwing one of those on a Porsche or something, and it's premature, that's a good time, I think, to trim some longs, take some profit here and there when you see that type of euphoria again, like we had in 2021.
Something.
Yeah, with the
about
crypto run as well, I knew that it was time to sell when the guys that were doing my windows, because I was putting in new windows,
Mm.
the guy was like, "Hey, should I like put in 5K into like Bitcoin?" And I was like, "Okay, no."
Gold.
and
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a top very soon.
That's the old the old adage, right? When the garbage man starts
Yeah.
giving you stock tips,
There it goes.
time to get out.
Here it
Time
is.
to get out. Yeah.
How are you selling your short?
No, I covered it.
Let's see if we can break out of this range
We'd
finally.
still be in it if we haven't gotten to the target here just yet. But I took it out. I took it just as a scalp.
You just had a one lot on, Hogue?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the days of donating one back to the market when things just weren't moving? You'd be short 5, market's flat, no volatility at all. You'd give one back to the market, hoping that it would make a move for you. I know people that did that quite a bit.
Danielle wants us to reiterate, which we did. We did talk about this a little bit, Danielle. But yes, at the end of the day, if you were affected negatively from the
Order
outage
canceled.
that occurred earlier today, we are going to fix it for you. We will make you whole. We will make you happy. We always, always do. So we appreciate your patience and understanding. And at the end of the day, we're going to get it all fixed for you.
Yep, don't worry, everyone. If you were affected by it, we will fix it. Nothing to worry about.
Order filled.
But we are coming up on time. We just got a minute or two left here. I do see Andre in the green room. Andre made it.
Hey, there he is.
Fresh haircut. Happy haircut, Andre. Maybe we'll see that in a minute.
Wonder how he shot on Friday, or he's here at least, so we know he didn't pull a Scotty Scheffler.
He said
Woof.
he shot. He didn't shoot
See his
well,
reaction there. That was great.
but he didn't go to jail, so that's a good thing.
he is not broadcasting live from the I don't know Chicago penitentiaries, but he is looks like he is in his usual spot. So he did make it home
Cook
from
County
his round
jail.
of golf on Friday.
Well, we're going to be bringing Andre in just a minute. Also, Dolby, and I'm going to stick around for about a half hour until Peter Tuckman gets here at 11:30, and then top quiz at 11:45. So, what do you say we take just a real short break? Any closing statements?